Okay, so let's jump right into this. What we're doing here is basically a philosophical detective story. We're going to follow a trail of clues the author says are hiding in plain sight, right in our everyday human experiences. You know, it all kicks off with these really fundamental questions. And the argument we're about to unpack, it suggests that all those feelings, that little voice telling you what's right, that awe you feel looking at a sunset, that drive to find the truth, they aren't just, random noise in your head. No. The idea here is that they're signposts. They're actual clues. And if you follow them logically, they all point to the very same place, a single ultimate source for all of reality. So let's follow that trail. And we're going to start with the first piece of evidence, which is something we all have, our own inner world. So our first major clue on this journey, it isn't found out there in the cosmos or in some dusty old book. Nope. It's found right inside each of us, in the simple, profound ability to make a choice. And this brings us to the first major piece of evidence, what's called the moral argument. It really starts with a simple, powerful observation. We have free will. And the core of the argument is that this one ability, the fact that we can choose, logically points us towards some kind of objective, absolute standard of what good even means. And this is where it gets really fascinating. The way our freedom is framed. It's not treated as just, another product of evolution. It's actually called a continuous miracle. The idea is that it's a constant break from the blind, deterministic laws of physics that run everything else in the universe. Okay, so here's how the logic is built step by step. 1, we have free will. 2, because we have free will, we have to make choices. It's unavoidable. 3, to make a good choice, we need some kind of standard of good to aim for, right? And then here's the kicker, the final step. That standard can't just be your opinion or my opinion. For it to mean anything, it has to be an objective, absolute good that exists completely independent of us. And this quote just nails the point. I mean, think about it for a second. Even people who do awful things almost never say, "Yep, I'm choosing to be evil today." No way. They justify it. They try to frame their actions as being good, or at least necessary or just. The argument is that this universal need to justify proves just how deeply this concept of an absolute good is baked into our brain. All right, so that's clue number 1, our moral compass. Now, the next clue in our little detective story takes us from the realm of the conscience to the realm of the heart. We're going to look at our sense of beauty and that very unique human thing we call love. So the text draws this really sharp line between animal instinct and human love. For an animal, attraction is pretty straightforward. It's a biological drive. It's functional. But human love, that's presented as something totally different. We idealize the person we love. We don't just see them for who they are. We see an ideal. It's like we're trying to find something infinite inside of another limited, finite person. And that brings us to the real heart of this argument. Human love is basically a form of worship. So when you hear lovers call each other my idol or even my God, the text says, hey, that's not just poetic fluff. It's a real expression of our deep, deep search for the absolute. It's seeing a spark of the divine in another human being. And this same logic gets applied to, well, all kinds of beauty. It doesn't matter if you're moved by a brilliant piece of art, an elegant scientific theory, or a courageous act. The idea is that it's more than just your personal taste. Each of those beautiful things is like a little broken shard of a mirror, each one reflecting a tiny, imperfect piece of one single, perfect, absolute beauty that is the source of it all. Okay, so the argument is about to take a pretty big leap now. We're moving beyond our inner world, beyond morality and beauty, and we're going to look at the nature of existence itself. And the logic here is actually pretty simple and powerful. Just picture a single wave in the ocean. That wave is temporary, right? It's finite. But its very existence proves something else. The existence of the entire ocean it came from. You can't have the wave without the ocean. It's impossible. And so, the argument goes, the exact same thing is true for us. Our own limited, temporary, finite lives, they are the proof. The simple fact that we exist, but only for a little while, is presented as direct evidence of a boundless, universal, eternal life that has to be our source. Our finite life points directly to an infinity. All right, so this is the final step in our philosophical detective story. It's time to take all of these clues we've gathered, the moral clue, the beauty clue, and the existence clue, and see how they all fit together into one big picture. So after all this, where we ended up? Well, the final conclusion is that our hunt for truth, our gut feeling about goodness, and our deep love of beauty, they aren't three separate things. They're more like three different windows in the same room, all giving you a different view of the exact same landscape. A single, unified reality. This quote really gets to the core of it. These three things, truth, goodness, and beauty, they're all tangled up together. Think about it. A truth that's just plain ugly or evil feels like it's missing something, doesn't it? And a good deed that's based on a total lie feels like a sham. They're all presented here as just different sides of the same coin, different facets of one single, harmonious, absolute reality, which the author calls God. So from this viewpoint, the issue with atheism isn't that it's immoral or anything like that. No. The philosophical problem, according to this argument, is that it creates this huge disconnect. It forces you to believe that your deepest, most powerful intuitions about what's good, what's true, and what's beautiful are ultimately just meaningless illusions inside a random, pointless universe. It's this jarring clash between our inner compass and the world as it supposedly is. And that really is the final, provocative idea this text leaves us chewing on. It's asking us to consider a wild possibility. What if all those deep feelings, the very ones that guide our lives and give us a sense of meaning, what if they aren't just wishful thinking? What if they're actually the most reliable signposts we have, pointing us directly toward the fundamental nature of reality itself?